Zephyr had served aboard the galactic research vessel Concordia for 12 standard cycles, long enough to consider himself experienced in xenobiology. The tall, crystalline Altarian had catalogued over 300 species across 47 systems, each with their own peculiarities and survival mechanisms. But nothing had prepared him for the day he would stand beside humans and truly understand what terror meant. The distress beacon had pierced through hyperspace 3 solar hours ago, originating from the mining colony on Kepler 442c. The message was brief and chilling. Unknown hostiles, colony overrun, requesting immediate assistance. Captain Thorne, a grizzled human with scars mapping decades of conflict across his weathered face, had volunteered his crew for the rescue mission. Zephyr watched the humans' calm demeanor with scientific fascination as they approached the colony. Most species would show physiological signs of stress, elevated biorhythms, defensive posturing, chemical releases. Humans displayed none of these obvious markers. "Zephyr, you're with the rescue team," Captain Thorne announced, his voice steady as bedrock. "Your medical expertise might be needed." The Altarian's crystalline form hummed with nervous energy. "Captain, perhaps I should remain on the ship. My combat experience is limited." Thorne's eyes met his, and Zephyr saw something that made his internal structures resonate with unease. It wasn't fear, it was anticipation. "Sometimes, Doc, you learn more about a species by seeing how they handle the worst situations. Today might be educational." The shuttle descended through Kepler 442c's rust-colored atmosphere, revealing a mining colony that should have bustled with activity. Instead, twisted metal structures jutted from the ground like broken bones. Smoke pillared into the sky from collapsed buildings. The silence was absolute. "Readings indicate life forms in the central compound," reported Jensen, the human navigator. Her voice carried the same unsettling calm as her captain's. "Also detecting unknown energy signatures." As they disembarked, Zephyr's sensors immediately identified the threat. The devourers, a nomadic species of insectoid predators that consumed entire ecosystems, had somehow breached this sector. Their chitinous forms, each standing 3 meters tall with razor-sharp appendages, moved through the colony ruins with purposeful hunger. Zephyr's crystalline body began to dim, a natural fear response. The devourers were legendary throughout the galaxy for their relentless consumption and inability to be reasoned with. Entire civilizations had fallen to their swarms. "Estimate 40 to 50 hostiles," whispered Kowalski, the human demolitions expert, as if discussing weather patterns. "Should be manageable." Manageable? Zephyr's thoughts crystallized with disbelief. His people would have immediately retreated, called for a full battle fleet, evacuated surrounding systems. These humans spoke as if they were planning a routine maintenance check. That's when he heard it, a faint crying from the central building. Survivors. "Kids in there," Thorne observed, checking his weapon with practiced efficiency. "Can't leave them." The devourers had positioned themselves between the rescue team and the survivors, their compound eyes reflecting alien intelligence. They knew the humans would come. It was a trap. Zephyr expected the humans to develop a careful strategy, perhaps call for reinforcements, or attempt to negotiate safe passage. Instead, Captain Thorne looked at his crew of 5 humans and asked a single question: "Anyone object to a direct approach?" The unanimous response chilled Zephyr's crystal core. "No, sir." What happened next would be burned into Zephyr's memory matrix for the remainder of his existence. The humans didn't charge. They didn't retreat. They simply began. Jensen moved like liquid shadow, her sniper rifle singing death songs as devourers dropped with impossible precision. Kowalski's explosives turned defensive positions into lethal obstacles, each detonation calculated to maximum effect. Martinez, their medic, fought with surgical precision while simultaneously treating wounded colonists, But it was Captain Thorn that truly terrified Zephyr. The human moved through the battlefield like a force of nature. When his ammunition depleted, he used debris as weapons. When debris ran out, he used his hands. The devourers, apex predators, that had conquered star systems, began to retreat from this single human. Zephyr watched in crystalline fascination as the captain cornered the largest devourer, its 4-meter frame dwarfing the human. The creature's mandibles could slice through titanium, its exoskeleton deflected energy weapons. Yet when it looked into Thorn's eyes, the alien predator hesitated. In that moment, Zephyr understood. The devourers were feared because they consumed. Without mercy, killed without emotion, destroyed without purpose beyond hunger. They were terror incarnate to most galactic species. But humans? Humans were something else entirely. When a human chose violence, they didn't simply kill, they decided to kill. Every action was deliberate, calculated, chosen. The devourers killed because it was their nature. Humans killed because they willed it. The difference, Zephyr would later write in his xenobiology report, is conscious choice. A predator follows programming. A human follows decision. The battle lasted 18 minutes. 5 humans neutralized 43 devourers and rescued 27 colonists, including 12 children. As they prepared to depart, Zephyr approached Captain Thorn. "How did you know you would succeed?" Thorn looked at the rescued children, their faces reflecting relief and hope. "We didn't know, Doc. We just knew we couldn't live with ourselves if we didn't try." That night, aboard the Concordia, Zephyr updated his files on human psychology. He added a new classification: terrifyingly compassionate. He realized that day that humans weren't feared because they were the strongest or most advanced species in the galaxy. They were feared because when someone needed protection, when children were crying, when hope seemed lost, humans made a choice that defied logic, survival instinct, and common sense. They chose to stand and fight, and somehow, impossibly, they usually won. The real terror, Zephyr concluded, wasn't in facing humans as enemies. The real terror was in disappointing them as allies.